What are the factors behind viral success? This was such a good question from Sabrina over on LinkedIn because I think we're all curious about this, right? What makes some videos go viral? What makes some content creators go viral? What does viral even mean? And is there a way to actually make it happen? And does it actually matter for your business? Let's dive into this juicy topic. Hey, beautiful human, and welcome to the Bold Women in Business Summer Series, where we're going for fast, fierce clarity so you can get back to your busy summer plans. I'm your host, Rachel Honeyman, founder of Honey Be Bold, and in 15 minutes or less, I'm going to answer one game-changing question to help you brand smarter, market bolder, and connect deeper. Go grab your floaties and let's dive in. As business owners or content consumers as a whole, we are inundated with this idea of going viral, where, someone posts something, they post a video or a meme or whatever, and it goes instantly viral. Gets 20,000 likes and 5,000 new followers, and they get an inbox full of inquiries. Their post just blows up. What actually causes those moments to happen? And is it something that you can reverse engineer, or is it just dumb luck? And again, does this really matter for your business? Is this something that you should be chasing? Let's take a step back and break the myth of the overnight success. We've all seen these stories. They're all over our feeds of somebody who was, nobody was paying attention to what they were sharing. Nobody was paying attention to what they were posting. And they post one video that just makes them an instant, quote unquote, instant overnight success. They get millions of followers and they wind up on the Ellen show. Does she even have a show anymore? I don't know. I don't watch daytime television, but you get the idea. These stories, we see them all the time. Here's the myth. Is that is overnight. In almost all of those cases, there might be some exceptions, but we're going to go with the rule, not the exception. In most of those cases, these are people who have been grinding for years. They've been creating content. They've been creating something. They're building a business, or they're building content, or they're building a persona. They're building a brand. And just because things didn't click until one video or one article or one meme that they shared doesn't mean that all of that previous work that they put in doesn't exist, right? They put in all this work that led to that video that went viral. So that's really the myth of the overnight success. Very few people, again, you can share some exceptions with me. It won't really make a difference because, again, we're talking in averages here. Very few people achieve that overnight success without years of work and years of grinding and years of putting in that effort without the virality. There are those quiet years happening in the background behind that sudden rise, right? So here's what today's episode is not going to do. I am not going to be giving you a formula for how to go viral because I actually don't really think it matters. This is the TLDR. This is going to be a short episode, so it's okay if I give you some spoilers. The TLDR is going viral doesn't matter. It is not the thing that you should be chasing. There are some things that virality tells us that we can be aiming for. So that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to unpack what goes into content that really spreads and evangelizes a brand. But I'm not going to be giving you a formula for how to get 1 million views on a video. I don't even think you should be aiming for that. So let's define what viral means in your context. Because viral for one content creator means something very different for someone who is a business owner creating content for their business. An influencer, right? Let's say a content influencer who is getting these big mega brand deals needs to have these videos that are, quote, going viral and getting hundreds of thousands of views because that's how they make brand deals. For you as a business owner, viral content is not necessarily going to lead to more clients. You're not necessarily going to be reaching the right people. You want your content to get in the hands of the right people. And if, let's just say, 100 people who are really good fits for what you're trying to get out in the world, if 100 people watch a video of yours, that is worth so much more than 1 million bad fit people watching that same video. So I want you to be careful not to confuse reach with relevance. We want to be really careful that we're paying attention to the right metrics. There's this idea, you may have heard this term before, called vanity metrics. Vanity metrics are those metrics that make us feel really good, right? It's how many likes does a video have? How many views does it have? That tells us how many people are actually, seeing this content. What that doesn't tell us though is how impactful that content is. The metrics that tell us that a little bit better, still lacking something, but the metrics that tell us that a little bit better are shares, right? How many people are actually watching something of yours and saying, this is so relevant for someone that I have in my life, or I think this could help someone that I love or know or trust, right? I want to share this content with them. I think that is a really good metric. Comments, DMs, people reaching out, asking questions about what you do because of content that you've shared, that also tells us much more. Here's another vanity metric. Followers. Followers, I hate to say it, don't matter so much. It matters so much more how engaged those followers are. I'll use myself as an example. I have 400 something followers on my Honeybee Bold account. That's not a lot. That's actually pretty few compared to many other accounts. I am very happy with that amount because I have a very engaged audience. My audience is liking and sharing and commenting and sending me DMs and booking calls with me. That matters to me so much more than how many followers I have. I could 10x that tomorrow and it could actually not make a dent in my business. So I care much more about reaching the right people, having the right people following me, and getting my content in front of those right fit people. Let's talk about the factors that go into viral. In this case, we're talking share-worthy content, right? Content that people want to share, engage with, actually keep in their feed, right? They're happy to see your content. So what are the things that go into that? Number one is timing and trends. There's a lot of value in leveraging a current moment or a cultural conversation, something that people are thinking about right now. And so it's about posting at the right moment, not just frequently. And this is one of the downsides of planning content too far in advance. I am a big believer in planning content as far in advance as you can, because most of what you post should be evergreen. That's my opinion, is that most of what you post should be evergreen. It shouldn't be dependent on trends. It shouldn't be dependent on what's going on in the news. It shouldn't be dependent on whatever is going on right now. But if you want a video to really resonate, relevance is currency. And so having some slots in your posting schedule to make sure that you have some time to talk about things that are relevant and matter, that is really important. I don't think it's totally necessary because, again, I'm going to say that trying to aim for virality shouldn't be your goal. But if you're really set on, I want to post a video that gets a lot of views or a lot of shares or whatever, relevance is key and timing is everything. Number two, emotional resonance. This is the kind of content that hits you in the gut. It's funny, it's inspiring, it's infuriating, it's validating. People share content that makes them feel something and makes them feel seen, that they connect with. So when you're creating a video, again, if your goal is how can I create something that people are going to want to share, ask yourself, would someone watch this and say, oh my God, you have to see this? That is really, really important. Number three, simplicity and clarity. Content goes viral when it is easy to get. You don't need any extra brain effort. It has snappy hooks, clear visuals, a big punchline. It's really easy to understand immediately. Confusion is a conversation killer and a virality killer. So if you're posting something that requires a lot of brain effort to understand, it's very unlikely to go viral. Number four is a strong POV, right? A strong point of view. Virality often comes from polarizing or bold takes. So it doesn't have to be, a hot take for the sake of being hot, but it has to be distinct. People just simply do not share something that's beige. They share things that are a little edgy, that are out there, that are maybe a little subversive. So having your own unique point of view and sharing that loudly and proudly, that is a great way to make a video that has the chance of going viral. Number five is relatability or aspirational energy. So it either mirrors your audience's life or it shows them what is possible. You want them to say either, oh my God, that's me, or oh my God, I want that to be me, right? You want them to have that deep, instant connection with what you're saying in your video. Okay, number 6, and this is the most important. I cannot stress this enough. Luck. Luck is the most important factor in virality. It often really does come down to lucky timing and the algorithm gods smiling upon you. But you can stack the deck in your favor by showing up consistently, creating content with intention. And again, if your goal is virality, if you don't have the previous 5 factors, you're very unlikely to hit virality. But you could have all those 5 factors and luck is just not in your favor and you'll never go viral. This is just something to keep in mind. And this is why I am such a big believer that you shouldn't be focusing on virality. You shouldn't be chasing virality. You want to focus on resonance over reach. Make sure that you're creating slow burn content, right? That is really earning trust over time. So what I want you to do is look back at your own best performing content. Again, best performing, I want you to be looking at those factors that are not just vanity metrics, that don't just make you feel good, but actually tell you how people are connecting with your content. So what kinds of content did people save and share and comment on? What are they connecting with? And then really post more of that. Post more of what people are connecting with. And then you can work in content that has more of a chance of going viral as a spark, something that has that chance of going viral, but make sure that you're building content that is sustainable, that's consistent, that is consistently connecting with your audience, and don't be chasing virality, because one of the dangers that I see is that people say, oh, I'm posting all this content and it's just not working. It's just not working and I don't want to post anymore. And they lose momentum. And when I dig in a little bit further and I say, what's not working? And they say, well, my videos are not getting any more than like 200 views. Okay, 200 people watched your video. Did those people comment? Are you getting people sharing your content? Are you getting people that are actually engaging with your content? That tells me much more than how many people actually watched it, right? So really focus on being consistent in ways that feel, I've talked about it a million times, but I'm going to say it again. It has to feel fun for you or you're not going to stay consistent. And don't chase virality. Virality might happen if you're checking these boxes, but it also might not. So if you've been trying to go viral, I'm going to challenge you to try this instead. I want you to create one piece of content, whether that's a blog post, a LinkedIn post, a video, a story in your Instagram, whatever it is. Create one piece of content that says something real. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try to go viral. I want you to just be real, be clear, be bold, be honest, and then tag me in it. Tell me what you posted, and I want to cheer you on. I want to see what you're posting. All right, that's all I got for you today on this summer short. All right, beautiful human, that's your bold hit of the week. Short, sharp, and straight to the point. If this helped, share it with a friend, leave a review, or DM me your biggest aha. This show was brought to you by my company, Honey Be Bold, with music by Shmukulele. Need help taking your business to the next level? Visit us at honeybebold.com, that's honeybebold.com, and set up a free vibe check with yours truly. Until next time, stay bold and always wear sunscreen.